Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage we're going to try and repair the air vents, or at least decide that they're completely broken, on the Volkswagen T4 Autosleeper Trophy. Okay, so as you can see, the problem, the air vents are broken up. Now, I don't know whether the remaining parts are either in here or gone completely. It's quite common for air vents to break down on vehicles of this age. They're constantly exposed to heat and cold, and obviously the modern era means that lots of people tend to want to attach all sorts of accessories to them, and they're not really made for that. So when you're hanging your phone off it, just be aware. How you get these things out? Right, if we rotate it so that the top is towards us and then give it a pull, it comes off its pivot. There we go. And we can get this one out, I hope. When you are pulling on these, pull on the top, bottom or the horizontals, because again you're going to cause more damage if you're not careful. So if you're asking yourself, why is he taking that one off? First of all, I haven't destroyed this one, it's still intact. I can see what it's supposed to look like at the back, so that's why it's important to get that one off. If you guys have got two broken ones, then obviously this might be the only time you get to see one complete. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vanes vertical, and they're linked by a piece of wire that loops in and out of them and goes around a little hook in the middle. And the middle vane has this knob attached. The whole thing swings up and down, so the up and down is not really going to be too much of an issue. Reach inside this socket and there's a flap, and you can see that when I press it, the knob at the left hand side moves up and down. Also got access now to the screw to take the whole of this out. So onto the broken one. And there we are. Turn it over. No wire clip and only 3 vanes. So the first bit of good news is there's the other vane, or one of them. So that's the one with the knob on the front. Don't seem to be any sign of the wire or the other vane. May have been lost long ago. So what we'll do next, okay, that flap still operating on this, that's good. We're going to take out the vent housings. There's 2 Phillips screws on the bottom. They're angled towards you, so that's quite good design in terms of being able to fit. Okay, so we've got both of them out. Pull forward from those screw holes with a couple of clips at the top. As long as you come bottom first, it should come out very easily. There we go. So no signs of the wire there. Well, it's got to be worth at this stage taking a few more things out here just to see if I can find some components before I start manufacturing or buying components. the steering column swinging from an extreme angle so it can join in the centre. Quite unusual. The mission now is to scratch around the edges of this carpet and see if we can find any evidence of the clips. So we've got it down to a very decent replica now. I'm just rounding off the bits that are going to be on show. So the very front edges of these vanes need to be reasonably radiused. So that's what I'm doing each little bit separately, because I'm not good enough to evenly spread the load across all three. I don't know how well you can see that, but we're getting a bit of a rad on the end there. Middle. And end. So here, my two vanes. One's original, one's a replica. I'm not duplicating the exact shape there, as we explained previously. It's not necessary. It's OTT. But the rest of it, and down to the pip on top, we've done a very reasonable job. Now I could spray this straight up to make it blacker, but bear in mind this is just glossy plastic. I might end up with it looking more different. So what I'm going to do instead is buff it and see if I can bring up the same finish. If you're going to do any polishing, don't wear gloves, because if you do catch anything, it's going to grab the glove wherever it grabs you. And beware of which way that your wheel runs. Mine runs that way, so I'll only be getting underneath and letting it pull away from me. So the worst thing that happens is it takes that away and shoots it off. Never a problem with vibration on the camera. Try and do a little bit of this just so you see how I'm doing it. Gently rubbing on the underside of the wheel to get rid of the lines and just see how black it goes. And I'll do the rest of that off camera. I'm going to try and reassemble this now. My new one. I'm going to put him at one end. Put one peg in the hole. And it's just a case of stretching the frame to get the other peg into position. That's my new one. And I think he looks rather good. Now we'll put the existing one that we've salvaged back. Just knock a little bit of the yellow pen off. He's in there. Ease him into there. And now we've got a full set of vents. Mine's a little stiffer than the others, which is just down to having a square pin rather than a round pin, I think. Certainly not sufficiently so that I'm going to tweak it. Right. Now the challenge is to join them all together. So I've got some wire, and this is the insulating strand from some flat twin and earth insulated cable. 16 amp, I believe, if that makes any difference to any of you. And on the original, it sort of weaves in and out of these things. I'm wondering whether I can do something a little simpler. Okay, I've decided upon my technique. Start off by measuring the gap between the holes, and it is 15, just under, just over, just over. You would think they'd be very consistent. The answer is not really. Well, 15mm pitch, 5 holes. So let's use this. I wonder why they never made them a consistent pitch. They look consistent, but they're not. I'm not going to put it just down to the plastic. There's a reason there somewhere. Right, so that's my grid. Next, I've decided that this element here, the wire's got to go round, is about the same diameter as that screw. So now what I'm going to do is simulate them on here. Okay, so that gives me my pins. Now bear in mind I can't thread this. If I made loops, I can't get them on. So we'll do some experimentation. The experiment will be the middle pin has an open link. You can hook something onto it. So the middle pin can be closed like so. Then if I use these round nosed pliers, I think what I can do is make a hook like so. Put it back like so. Put it round. And then flatten the middle. As long as I leave that big enough to get over the middle pin, just think that is, this might work. Now I'm going to leave these tails long enough at either end that I can potentially close them once it's in position. 1, 2. That looks good. Now, so I don't distort it too badly, we take the screws out, or at least the one in the middle. And now I should have something that might hold the whole thing together. Next stage is to flatten it a little bit. Now I'm going to hammer it. There's two reasons for this. One, flatten it. Two, if I hit copper, it'll work harden just a little bit and become a little bit stiffer. And now where it's shaped, I'd like it really to be relatively stiff. This is not going to make a significant difference, but it's not going to hurt. There we are. Yeah, it's just a little bit stiffer than it was. That, hopefully, is going to be my solution. Should be able to just plonk this across all of the vanes and hook the middle one into its correct position. I think I might need them all stood up for this. Let's get that one up. Two. I know this is not the best piece of filming, but it's not easy. Okay. Now let's just bring the middle one into position. Okay, middle one's in. So basically that is connecting them. The pitch appears right. And when I move, it's going to move them all. Snag now is just that the ends are going to keep coming off. So I need to wrap the ends through their little holes so that they can't come off. That might be very tricky. I managed to roll that one all the way through. This one here has now got to get the same treatment. There we go. So in theory, we're safe and sound. The only risk now is that the middle one goes over the end of its peg. It does have a little bit of a head on it, but it's possible. So step one will be making sure it's the right way up so that that doesn't happen. Step two might be a little bit of tightening. Well, not as per original, but effective. It's not going to break. From the front, I don't think anybody would be picking out that one of those is a replacement. I will just spray a little bit of matte black on there in case it shows through. So the right way to fit these, if I can get you to focus, is that slot goes over a peg, and when you push it in, you go back and up just a little bit, back and up, and that'll get it into position, which is why when you're removing them, you roll it forward and pull down and out to loosen it all off. Okay, so we've gone from smashed up vent with missing grills to fully reinstalled, and I've just shuffled them. Can you spot the remanufactured grill, as in the entire one? And or can you spot the remanufactured blade? You might be able to, but that's because you're looking for it. I am very pleased with that, and that has saved me a load of money. So that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed this episode of To the Garage and you like messing around with Volkswagen T4s, Jaguars, Jeeps, Navaras, or just messing around in your garage or shed, then please consider subscribing and join us again. We've got lots and lots of jobs to do on the T4 Autosleeper Trophy. I'll get the name right eventually. And it's got some real quirky stuff on it, I can tell you. So come join us and enjoy that. See you soon.